it's well known, really, that the economy was in chaos. Everybody knew. That's why the last election, the campaign was premised on the issue of the economy. And the former president was generous in his own way. He said it's true that the economy is in a bad situation. He didn't say anything, else to the contrary. And so this government knew that this was going to be the priority, the economy, more than anything else. That's where the crisis was. Fine, you can identify the economy as a priority, but are your actions and your strategies and your policies based on priorities themselves? Because if they're not, then you will only make the situation worse. For me, that is my worry now. That you know that some of the most important reason why we're in this crisis is because of the debt, the huge debt, the recklessness of the previous administration, borrowing left, right, and center, and put us into this hole. So I would have thought that the first thing this government would do is, first and foremost, to go slow on this borrowing. But when you see the figures published last week, 578 billion or something to that effect borrowed in the 7 months, means we're still on the same path. But the second thing is the one that's more important. That yes, you have a crisis. Yes, okay, organize your expenditure, address spending, public spending. Again, that has not been addressed. In fact, it's the opposite. This government has gone on holiday, as if we're the richest country in town, and they didn't lead by example. The figures published by the Controller of Budget shows State House is the first culprit, doubling. They spend what they were supposed to spend in 12 months in 4 months. The Deputy's office is the next one, and all the other institutions are also following suit. So I think unless, and this is why today in the editorial of your paper, the Auditor General is saying that unless something is done on the spending, this country is not going to go anywhere.
Plug the loopholes. Actually,
yeah, and this is about priorities. So, in my view, they do appreciate the economy is the problem, but the way they are going about it, I don't think they're going to address that problem. And 2 years is not going to be, I think even as will be in this table talking about this thing. Because if you're still digging the hole, and you're not taking the right steps towards addressing the problem, we'll get deeper and deeper into that hole. I don't think we'll be in any better situation. And the world economy, as he says, the world does not wait for you. Things are not going to get worse. The world is going to get more worse because there is recession all over Europe. So I think really, if I were in this government, luckily I'm not, I would be sitting, as the deputy said, they would be burning the midnight oil, although we're not seeing the effects of that. But I think they really need to do something seriously. And the one thing they need to do, we've said it in this table, engage the people who are in business, engage the economists, engage the country, the industry, the farmers, engage people, listen. The government is not listening. It's not engaging anyone. The government seems to believe they know everything. And this is, I'm telling you, that is going to be the Waterloo. This feeling that you know everything and you can do everything without engaging industry, without engaging farmers, without engaging, the people who are the key players in the economy, or without even listening to what others are saying and simply doing what you want to do. I don't think that is the right thing. And that was the problem with Uhuru. He wasn't listening. This guy is doing worse.
He's picked up the tab, is following with it, he's not listening.
Yeah, I think that
the accident happening also can be advised by good listening. Yeah, if you listen, what Billow Kerrow is saying, because I wanted to ask the question about listening, and there was a special umbrage that was raised by oil importers, regarding the edible oil, because I think also we had businessmen really raising special umbrage with this, but the government went full steam ahead, and they're still importing. I don't know what's the current state of play about the edible oils being imported into the country.
You see, this government, like any other government we have had, for corruption is the main issue. Even the cost of government is not about the institutions. It's the way things are done. It's the operational aspect. So when you set up an entity like NTC, go to African Bank and collect 24 billion loan, and you say, I want you to buy things from outside. Those things can be bought by him. It can be bought by him. You want to reduce the cost? Yes. Okay, just give a waiver of tax for 6 months to keep the cost down, the way you did in Corona time. That's all you needed to do. Instead, you're saying, okay, in order to go and import cooking oil, 124,000 metric tons, don't pay duty. I'm already importing crude. I've invested 100 billion shillings in manufacturing, in equipment. I'm manufacturing it. All you need to do is tell me, okay, how much are you paying in taxes? I'm paying VAT and other government taxes total almost 21%. Okay, remove 10% or 20%. You'll still be cheaper than what this guy is going to do. Here you're going to lose that revenue. You'll shut down these companies and also lose another 50 billion revenue you're collecting.
Internally.
Why? Because Nderitu is politically correct. He supported you during the campaigns. He finds the election. So you want a payback. So that's why you are doing this. It's not about cost of everything happening in KNTC. All this import of things is not being done openly. There's no tender. Have you seen a tender of sugar, of the rice, or of the edible oils? No. It's all being given. Patrick, yes, take this letter. You go and bring 300,000 metric tons of sugar. And ready to go and bring 100,000 tons of oil. This is being done in order to pay back people who finance this government. And it's the worst corruption that you can ever talk about. What is happening now in KNTC? And the government knows. As an industry.
So NTC, was it a fig leaf to cover for all this?
Because
it has been there, but we've seen the emergence of the KNTC.
It's a conduit that has been sent up. And the whole thing is about price stabilization. This is the story. But ask the business community. All those things, has the government called anybody in government to sit down? Have they called, for example, the cooking oil industry? Told them, gentlemen, yes.
To listen.
It's a bit expensive. Is there any way we can reduce? Yes, we can reduce. Eliminate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levies on that food. Will reduce by 10%. Or you can call the manufacturers of wheat flour or the sugar industry or nobody. It's just, that's why I say that the government doesn't listen. They just decided that they know the answers, and the answers is that CSs themselves, their companies, are the ones importing through KNTC.
CSs?
Yes, and we have all of them. The government knows. It's the CS, this government is doing the same thing the other government was doing. We were told they were dollar billionaires in the previous CSs. These ones are not going to be dollar billionaires. They're going to be trillionaires if we're not careful. So I think what the government needs to do is, frankly, we're in a situation where we cannot afford. If things can be done by the private sector, let them do it. If things are bad, call them and engage them. Can we address this problem this way or that way? But I think to try and get the government to do everything, no, I think we are going to get the situation worse. It's going to be exactly what he said. This country is going to be in a more serious economics. You see the way now they were not able to service our loans, the euro bonds, the rates, the bonds. People are asking for now 14, 15, 16%. You cannot survive. They will not be able to pay. I'm telling you. And nobody has thought about, when the PS was asked last week, why didn't in Parliament, in Senate, why didn't you ask for rescheduling of some of these loans, bilateral and multilateral? They said, okay, we are thinking of doing that. 7 months. The first thing you should have done when you said to say is, let's look at our loan portfolios and let's talk to people. Let's see how we can reschedule some of these things and get some breathing space. There's a run on Treasury. People are looking for how to make money. Today you walk the streets of Nairobi. People have opened offices. Do you have a pending bill? I can sort it out. Do you have something being reported? I can sort it out. I mean, you can do that. Part of the reasons why they couldn't pay salary is not because of the debt. And Dongo should tell us what is the problem he's going through. There's a run on Treasury.
He should speak out.
Yeah, he should speak out.
So what
unless he says, no, I'm not going to spend money the way you guys want. And David Ndii came out on national TV. He said, the way we are spending money, this government doesn't care. This is the chairman of the
chief advisor.
Yes, he said it on national TV. So what do you expect then? Things will go south.